Do you still eat regular table salt? I don't, and in this video I'll tell you why you might want to switch to a healthy alternative as well. Let's get started. So, the average American person consumes about 3.4 grams of salt per day, and Germany is even worse, and I'm German. Male Germans consume about 10 grams of salt per day, and females around 8 to 8.5 grams of salt per day. So that is quite a lot. And what is recommended? Well, it is recommended that we eat between 1.5 to 2.3 grams of salt per day. And that can easily be exceeded. Because nowadays people eat a lot of preserved foods and prepared meals, and those foods are prone to contain a lot of salt. And nowadays they use even more salt in foods than back in the past. Because salt also makes you addicted. The more you eat, the more you crave it. Did you know that? But nevertheless, we also, of course, need a healthy dosage of salt for our bodies in order to stay healthy. Well, let's take a look at the different salt types that there are. First of all, there is regular white table salt. And what is it made of? Well, it can come from natural salts, like sea salt or rock salt, or it comes from crude oil leftovers. Yep. Gross. And this is actually cooked at very, very high temperatures, and then it's also, that means it's highly processed and strips it of its valuable nutrients, most of its nutrients, especially minerals, so there's pretty much nothing left afterwards. And in addition to that, in addition to the lack of minerals and trace minerals, they add some things like bleachings and anti-caking agents, but also other chemicals to make it look white and shiny and to not make it stick together. There's all kinds of stuff in it. You can check that out on the back. Oh yeah, and things like fluoride and iodine in some cases. But that's not a very healthy thing either, because you can easily consume too much of it that way. And one thing that they actually use in it, which is especially against the caking, is silicon dioxide. And silicon dioxide has been shown to harm our arteries, and that way we're much more prone to getting arteriosclerosis, because if the artery is kind of injured, then our body uses proteins, meaning if you are still eating a non-vegan diet or a diet that is rich in fats, then your body uses the LDL, I think it was, to repair those injuries, and that thickens up your arteries. So that much to the table salt. And according to my own experience, I recently went on vacation, and well, during vacation you're relaxed and easy, and I also tried some stuff from the buffet besides my raw fruits and veggies. Of course, there were also some raw things that I tried that were prepared, something like coleslaw salad, and well, radish salad or kohlrabi salad, things like that, and some just plain steamed veggies that I tried. And afterwards I felt pretty thirsty, first of all, and the side effect that occurred after 1 or 2 days is that my lips got a lot of blisters that were hurting quite a lot. And it took me about 1 week after I came back until that healed up. And that already shows that there was a lot of salt in the food. I've experienced it before, but never with foods where they added sea salt. So I can pretty much tell the difference, and my body is very sensitive to that. So, well, to me that shows how toxic and aggressive the regular table salt is. And trust me, you don't want to make that experience as well. So, let's come to the healthy alternatives. First of all, there is, of course, Himalayan pink salt. And this still has its nutrients, meaning minerals and trace minerals like calcium, calcium, potassium, sodium, and also things like iron and zinc. And the less processed it is, the better it is. So in this state, it's actually very unprocessed. And you can use those kind of stones, if you can find them, and add them to water. And then let it soak a bit, always stir it around a little, and it will dissolve. And that water you can then fill into a sprayer bottle and use it to flavor your foods. So you have a naturally unprocessed salt, if you still need a lot of salt. The next thing you can do is use sea salt. Here as well, the less processed it is, the better it is. And this salt also contains a lot of minerals, as it's not as processed and highly cooked as regular table salt. And then last but not least, there is rock salt, which is pretty much like sea salt because it's from centuries ago. There was a sea, and then now you can find it under the earth. And well, yeah, it's from sea salt from centuries ago. And well, let's come to some other natural alternatives, or more or less alternatives. One thing I love very much instead of salt is celery. Yeah, this is pretty much my favorite, and whenever I crave something savory, I'm snacking on celery. And this one has natural sodium and trace minerals, just like tomatoes, my second favorite snack. And if you want to use some spice for your food, if you want to give it some flavor, then you can also use, instead of salt, more spices and herbs to give it some flavor. You can try that. And of course there's another thing, which is coconut aminos. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it says that it is organic coconut tree sap aged and blended with sun-dried mineral-rich sea salt. And this is something like a soy sauce alternative, but without gluten and lactose. And vegan, of course. Yeah, that's it. And let me think of anything else. Yeah, regular table salt not only clogs up our arteries, but the sodium dioxide in it also causes lactic acid fermentation in your body, and that can lead to muscle cramps. And of course, if you eat too much salt, then first of all you get thirsty, and if your body gets used to it, you might not feel that as much. But the more salt you consume, then if you consume too much salt, let's say it this way, then your body is trying to protect your heart, because it's one of the most important organs, and is trying to drive the salt away from the heart, and that way it can lead to high blood pressure. So a high salt consumption can cause high blood pressure, or high blood pressure can be a sign of too much salt in your diet. Can be. And another thing would be that the regular table salt or a high salt consumption also harms other organs like the liver and your kidneys, as well as your lymphatic system, because your body is trying to store away the salt as it can't process it all at once. And when it stores that away, for some people it also happens that they get edema, meaning fluid retentions in their legs, in their arms, or even if they get a puffy face. And that's if they consume too much salt and the body is trying to store it with water to make it less toxic. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Those are the reasons why I don't consume table salt and think that it is more or less a toxin, as it is a processed food. And yeah, let me know what you think. Do you still consume regular table salt? Do you eat salt at all? I usually don't consume salt if it's not in anything that I eat, like sauerkraut or kimchi. But usually I eat my foods plain as they are and enjoy them very much this way. Yeah. I hope this video was helpful to you and would raise your awareness about your salt consumption, and maybe take a look at the back of some of the packages from the foods that you buy, if you still buy processed foods. Then at least take care that there is sea salt in it, or a healthy alternative instead of regular salt, because that is nowadays also in a lot of products like bread, cakes, cookies, all of that stuff. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you. And until next time, remember, keep it light and simple, and as always, naturally Rawsome. Bye! And that can easily be succinct.